Meanwhile, EvilJeff is in some kind of coffee shop ordering a coffee.
Hey, hi. I was wondering if I could get just like a frappuccino with
Yeah,
extra
no problem.
whipped cream.
Here you go.
Oh my God, are you Robert Downey Jr.?
That's right.
I don't like this. This is too much Robert Downey Jr. He's everywhere.
Hey,
Can the police come? Please.
Yes, I came right away. I'm Officer Robert Downey Jr.
No, not the police. No, get away from me. Get away from me. I gotta get out of here. Oh God, it's a little dog. Hey, little dog, wait a minute.
It's Robert Downey Jr. Run.
No. Ah!
Woo. Sir, wake up. You were hit by a car, but you're going to live.
Wait, are you?
No, I'm just a regular guy.
Oh, thank God.
But behind
I am dying. No, I think I'm in heaven.
Hello, I'm God.
God, wait, pull that beard down.
Hey, it's me, Robert Downey Jr. I'm playing Dr. Doom. Robert Downey Jr. of Robert Downey Jr. I am your Robert Downey Jr., and with me as always is Robert Downey Jr.
Hey, Robert Downey Jr.
Hey, Robert Downey Jr., how are you?
Hi, it's really me, EvilJeff. This is episode 309 of Comic Book Queers.
Yep.
And I guess we should just get right into it because girl, things are going down in the comic book
right
world.
Now.
So much that we don't even have time to talk about comics.
No, we have we're going to do TV and movies only this episode.
Yeah, but first let's bitch about something that happened at Comic-Con.
And he was all like, and she was all like, and then they were all like, and I was all like, what?
All right.
So
well, I think
before we get into Robert Downey Jr., I think we want to talk about the trailer that has leaked online that was showed at Comic-Con.
Now, when I tried to send you a link, it was already taken down because it's just people filming from their phones.
Did you see the link I sent you where somebody
and then
posted
that
it?
one? And so you were okay, yeah. Oh, that's right, you did. So you have watched it.
So I have seen it. But it was they did a trick where they showed the Deadpool trailer, but then in the corner in a little thumbnail was their recording of the Fantastic. So I saw it in like a little bitty thumbnail, but we know enough. We surmised.
So yeah, let's talk about Fantastic Four.
There's an image of them.
Now, here's the thing: is we kept saying, "Oh, it's like this very Norman Rockwell ads." And like it was like a kind of very Norman Rockwell paintings for all of
Americana. Yes.
And it looks like that is kind of how the movie is. Does this movie take place in the late 50s, early 60s?
It looks like it might. Now, Marvel may be doing something with this trailer and only showing us, say, the first 20 minutes of the movie. So they could start out in this very vibrant, very bright, very kind of Pleasantville at the end of that movie. Take on life, a society. I don't know. It's very colorful. It's very early 60s.
I mean, even the clothes look like the 60s. The astronaut outfits. I'm also wondering if it's like an interstellar type of thing where they go off into space and then they come back and like 50 years have passed or something.
Thinking it might. Like this feels like it could be a little Wizard of Ozzy. Unless, listen, they take a creative risk and set the whole movie in 1963.
I'm going to tell you this. I feel the fact that this is kind of a bold take. I am here for it. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited.
I really am. We like when it's different creators. Well, this is Matt Shakman who directed WandaVision, but someone we want to see more from. I'll put it that way. A creator.
But I mean, the fact that he was able to pull WandaVision together, when we heard about how nuts trying to put an MCU TV show on was, and that he was able still to create that and have it be so cohesive and good, I have high hopes for him.
I do too, especially with the 60s aesthetic, which we saw him put up very successfully in that show.
Yes. And of course, how can you go wrong with Pedro Pascal?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We might. I still think it's an odd choice for Reed.
It is. It is. But I don't know. And I just saw before Deadpool, they had the trailer to Gladiator 2.
Yes.
Gladiator! Remember when Elizabeth Taylor almost ruined
Gladiator
mm-hmm. 2 with Pedro Pascal and Mescal.
In the Joaquin Phoenix role, and Paul Mescal.
Mescal. So it's Pascal and Mescal.
Oh, it's Pascal and Mescal.
Who looks so beefy and good.
Ooh, muscular. Oh. You know who else looks really good? Pedro Pascal, especially in that photo of his date with his friend, Russell Tovey, out gay actor Russell Tovey, at a, say it with me, everybody, Pet Shop Boys concert. Hello.
That's about as gay as you can get. But isn't Russell Tovey still married?
I don't know.
He was married to a former Randy Blue porn star that I directed.
Then I guarantee you he is no longer still married.
He only did 2 scenes and then disappeared off the face of the earth. And I will say he was probably one of the most beautiful men in the entire planet. So if you ever look up Russell Tovey's husband, whether it's ex or current, look him up. He is gorgeous.
I've pet Russell Tovey's dog, who is also gorgeous. No.
Wait, you really petted his dog?
He carries a French bulldog around with him.
Is it petted or pat?
I petted.
Okay.
Pat is...
Wait, isn't that what petting did? What is petted then?
Pat is the present action of doing this. I'm patting my chest right now, everybody.
Okay. Okay. Well, this also shows, it looks like at the very end you see Galactus.
You see Galactus, what looks like Galactus.
Is Doom showing up here, or is Doom showing up later?
I believe Doom is going to have to be a character. Well, now I don't know, because now it's not Victor Von Doom. It's variant Tony Stark, maybe. We'll talk about that. But the trailer, what do you remember seeing in the trailer, EvilJeff?
I just remember seeing, there was an interesting part where there's like a dating show and then
dating game show.
And then you see the Thing.
She picks Bachelor number 3 and they pan over and it's the Thing.
Yeah.
In shadow.
But I've just noticed that you really, when you're looking at everything feels like this is the first space program from the 60s. And instead of it being like regular NASA, it's the Fantastic Four.
Everything looks very, I wonder if it's Sword. Everything looks very cover of Life magazine.
Yes. It also feels very like Jetsons. Almost.
Very Jetsons. It's very saturated. Everything is very clean, very vibrant, very poppy.
Yeah.
Very Jetsons.
I love it.
Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy.
But I feel like this. I want to talk about the elephant in the room, which relates to this.
Which relates to this, the fact that they announced who will be playing Doctor Doom in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday, aka Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, the movie formerly known as Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Now it's Avengers Doomsday. It features Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom is played by Robert Downey Jr.
So, how did you feel when you first heard this?
I went, that sucks.
Okay, well, that's very dramatic. That so you don't like it at all?
No, in fact, I think I woke up in a bad mood this morning, and I was like, "Oh, it's because Robert Downey Jr. was announced as Doctor Doom." I remember it wasn't a dream; it was real.
Okay, why do you hate this? Why is this bad?
I would have liked to invest in in a new Doctor Doom character. This very much could be my comics puritanicalism coming through. But I was looking forward to there being a character, Victor Von Doom, who had a rich history with Reed Richards.
Why you're assuming that it's going to be a Tony Stark?
I'm assuming it's going to
be a Tony Stark variant is going to be Victor Von Doom.
Yes. Now, It could be nope, it's Victor Von Doom, and it's Robert Downey Jr., who never takes his mask off.
But he's showing up in where there's going to be still multiverse and other worlds and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the culmination of the multiverse saga. So that's why I'm assuming it's.
And I do think this is all leading to Hickman's version of Secret Wars, in which everything's merged down into one timeline.
And that's where we'll have. We'll talk about. So we're going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Hello, in a little bit. I want to talk about what characters were in that and what characters were not in that, and are probably going to be saved for Secret Wars,
right?
In a battle world type scenario.
But I guess my issue is, I see two scenarios. He is a variant, and he is playing Tony Stark as a villain, or they're completely redoing him and they're like, well, he can just be a different character because he's going to basically be in a mask the entire time.
Yeah. So I would love that. I would love if it's like, no, we just think he's a really good actor and we want him to play this character now.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, they did that with Chris Evans kind of, sort of, to great effect. Wink.
Exactly.
We'll talk about later.
I do kind of like the idea of an evil Tony Stark. However, I also liked the idea of Tony Stark, of Robert Downey Jr. being like, I paid my dues, I started the MCU, and I'm going to leave it. And now we're going to pass the torch on. And so him coming back, I don't know.
Yeah. On paper, you know who's going to love this? Like, people who don't read the comics. They're going to love this. Because here we are having now a full circle moment that goes back to the previous saga, the Infinity War saga.
Yeah.
So they'll love it. They'll love, like, oh my God. And like, now it all comes full circle to Tony, but now he's the antagonist. Okay, great. But those of us who were excited for the Fantastic Four corner of the Marvel Universe feel a little bit let down. I thought it was a great opportunity at Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con to put Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby front and center and really make them the future of the MCU. And now it's just Robert Downey Jr. upstages. It's the Russo brothers coming back. It's Robert Downey Jr. coming back. It's like, no, we don't want Biden again.
Also, well, it's also just, you're going to be bringing back Robert Downey Jr. because you know that this phase is a dud.
Right.
And the only thing that's successful, the only things that are making money is anything having to do with mutants. I'm talking about, and I know she's technically, not a mutant anymore, but Scarlet Witch, X-Men 97, and Deadpool. Those are the things that are making you money. So from a capitalistic perspective, let's just fucking do a Fantastic Four movie and then ditch everything else and just go into the X-Men and guess what? You can still do Avengers because you know who's could be. That means you can have Spider-Man, Wolverine, Storm. Let them be on the Avengers. Anyway.
100%.
I'm just kind of annoyed with it. I also feel there is a problem with trying to give people what the fans want, trying to make money.
What was that piece of shit Star Wars movie?
Yeah. And trying to actually make something good. And unfortunately, I think in the end, making something good kind of falls backwards. Which I will bring up later in something.
Okay. Yeah, it's dicey. I mean, if you're going to give the fans what they want, I mean, it could work. We've seen it work in the form of, let's say, Spider-Man No Way Home, or moments in Deadpool and Wolverine, or it could just be the same old shit again.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any other Comic-Con news coming out?
I'm trying to think of what book announcements. They dove deeper into the Psylocke solo, which is interesting. I mean, listen, here's a silver lining of the post-Krakoa X-Men lineup. Solo titles for Jean Grey, Storm, Dazzler, Mystique, X-23 was also, Laura Kinney Wolverine was just announced, and Psylocke. That's 6 X-women that have got solo titles, whether some are ongoing or not. That's pretty great.
Yeah. Love it.
We saw a lineup for the West Coast Avengers, which they alluded to at the end of Invincible Iron Man.
Who's going to be in that?
It's Iron Man, Rhodey. Man, there's a. I don't want to give away the next 2 yet before thinking. It's 5 total. I can't.
Is
think
it
of
the 3
third.
from the? Is it the Sandman and like? Are they?
No, it's not. They weren't on the lineup cover. It's Tony, War Machine, Firestar.
Oh,
How about that? That's pretty cool.
okay.
Another female hero. I can't remember who right now. I'm going to look it up in a second. And here's the 5th member, which is wild. Ultron.
But didn't Ultron merge with Hank Pym?
I think that's not a thing anymore.
So it's just Ultron.
Just Ultron, and he's like looking for like some sort of redemption. I'm like, what? He is?
Just do Vision.
Just do Vision.
What about what's her name? Tigra? Who's the tiger lady?
Tigra? You mean Tigra?
Wasn't she on Avengers West Coast
she's
at
like
one point?
A big well, she's huge in Blood Hunt, I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay.
And she really teams up with a Moon Knight character named Hunter's Moon. They're like a monster hunting squad or duo.
A munter hunting. She's a hunting mother. She's shitting on the blood mother toilet. Okay.
Blood mother. Oh, how can I forget? It's Miss Jessica Drew, aka the Spider Woman.
Oh, she's the other character?
Yeah. So it's Spider Woman.
Yeah.
It looks great. Iron Man, War Machine, Spider Woman, work. Firestar, work. Ultron, honestly, girl, work.
I like it. That sounds great.
Yeah. So
cool. Should we
let's talk about the TV and movies that we're watching?
Well, I'm going to play a different opening since just because I feel like I can.
I read a DC comic.
We didn't read a DC comic, but we watched a DC
cartoon show. And I will say something. It might be a very ironic thing that we have an I read a DC comic segment soon, EvilJeff, because the way things are going, I think we're going to become big DC fans, at least in the movies, moving forward.
I mean, coming out in September is The Penguin.
The Penguin. Born out of the Matt Reeves Batman movie. Colin Farrell, unrecognizable. But now we have Kite Man, hell yeah. On HBO Max.
Kite Man, hell yeah. Now, I looked it up to see who was in the cast, and it has 2 voices for Stephanie Hsu, and I am confused why it's listing 2 voices. It has Kathy Ang and Stephanie Hsu from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What character are we talking about?
For Golden Glider.
Interesting. Does she transform into something at some point?
No, it all sounds like it's the same voice. I'm curious if it's like, was Golden Glider when she appeared in Harley Quinn? Was it one voice and now it's another? And I keep looking it up, and everything just has them both listed. Even in their IMDb's, it has them both listed. Or I'm like, did one start in a couple of episodes and then they changed the voice?
Yeah,
so
weird.
I don't know. If anybody knows, I would like to know.
But overall, we've got Kite Man, hell yeah, which is about Kite Man and his girl, Golden Glider, who we do not know who does the voice of. And it's just basically Kite Man trying to, make it out there on his own. It is a spin-off of Harley Quinn, which we loved. It's the same animation style. It's, and I'm going to tread lightly here, the same comedy style.
But it's something's missing.
But something's missing.
We're to say,
is that our headline?
As funny. Yeah,
it's not as funny.
It's not as funny.
Right.
I think the problem is, I think they spun off the wrong character.
I agree. Kite Man
and the other characters is a main character in the show. It should have been Bane.
I think Bane's best in small doses, but okay.
Oh, really? I love it. And James Adomian, who does the voice for Bane. Remember, I don't know if you remember, he did an amazing Bernie Sanders back in the day.
I don't remember, but
I've met him a few times. He's was in the gay comedy world.
He's a gay clown. Yeah.
and he's very, very funny. I think Bane is more interesting. I think Kite Man, I think Golden Glider is honestly more interesting. Kite Man plays really funny almost on the side. And so I think maybe they're setting this up where he's the main focus for a bit, but then it's really the side characters that all come to shine and he just kind of bounces off all of them.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those, like, the name a show where the main character is the worst character, you know, the one you care about.
Yeah, I mean, and they're kind of in a way like Extraordinary. The main character doesn't have any powers while everyone else does. Like, he also just has lame powers. But the main focus is that I want to save a bar and make my relationship work.
Right. The want here is like pretty
the stakes are really, really low.
Yeah.
And then it just being like, it's like Cheers, but with X-Men villains. I'm not X-Men, with DC villains. It's just...
Yeah. And just, again, the writing is not... There is a certain magic in Harley Quinn that just, it does not feel like was captured.
Yeah. And it did,
here.
it actually, it has... Unfunny. The worst thing happened that could happen for me. And granted, I was a little tired, but I felt I dozed off while watching the second episode.
Yeah.
And that's not
it was hard to focus on that second. So I've seen 2 episodes. I believe that's all.
I watched the third one. The third one was definitely the funniest.
Okay.
The second basically like in the third one at TGI Fridays, it was a Bennigan's opens, but it's called Villigans. And it's all villain themed, and they're like, you know, taking all of their business. And that one actually was kind of funny, but still it was just like
yeah. An occasional smile.
But they did say you have to watch this because this is the plot, and this is going to lead straight
to next season
into Harley Quinn season.
Well, you have to watch it. The other thing is, the supporting characters in the show are not nearly as strong, and it sucks that we're comparing the show to Harley Quinn, and that's our basic review. But you know, you've got King Shark, you've got Riddler, like you've got so many characters that keep showing up in Harley Quinn that are just so great. And here, I think Golden Glider is kind of like a character you don't really connect to. We talked about Kite Man. You know, they introduced Darkseid's daughter as somebody who works at the bar now. Meh. You know, and we love, you know, we love a bitchy hot girl, and still, meh. I mean, even Darkseid himself, like, one of the great things about these shows are the odd choices they make for the voice and the persona of characters. And so you've got, you know, big potential in how you do Darkseid, and it just comes across as just kind of meh.
Yeah. But, you know, still watch it. It's not bad. I think it's just maybe it just needs to find its footing.
It needs to get out from under Harley Quinn's shadow somehow.
Yeah. Does that lead us to talk about something?
Now we're at our main event, everybody. Welcome to Comic Book Queer's Legacy, the official Deadpool and Wolverine review show.
What you watching? Is it me naked? No? Oh, fine.
All right, there they are.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Hugh Jackman is back. Ryan Reynolds is back.
They're back. And is the MCU back? Well, it's every other movie, so yeah.
All right.
Meaning the MCU is dead. The MCU is back. The MCU is dead. So now we're on back. But then we saw Robert Downey Jr. and we're like dead.
So now we're on back.
Now we're on back.
Now I'm on my back.
Now the MCU is back. Oh,
legs
I'm on my back.
Lifted.
So, bitch, I saw this twice.
Okay. Are we gonna 1, 2, 3 it?
Yeah, let's 1, 2, 3
Okay, you give me the 1, 2, 3.
All right, ready? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Loved it.
It was good.
I loved it.
I loved it because it satisfied all of my fanboy. The cameos and fanboy and jokes were A+.
A+.
If I then had to start nitpicking at plot and the actual story, then I will say this is it's in the list of the 3 Deadpool movies. This is number 3 for me.
agree. You know what? I think this is the top one for me.
This is the top. This is your favorite one.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, the second one. Anytime it's about like your relationship with a kid, I'm like, I don't. Can we do something else? The kid from what was that first Taika Waititi movie? That kid in Deadpool 2, kind of annoyed the hell out of me.
Okay. I felt he wasn't like a main focus though.
Yeah. And then one, it just but there's been so much done now. One just feels so simple.
Yeah. My thing though is I think a lot of this so relied on all of the cameos and jokes that sometimes you're like, wow, they're just still in the void. Like there just wasn't a lot happening. And in the big realm of things, I will say this. This is the other thing. I was really hoping that we're finally bringing Deadpool into the MCU. But in the end, it had
nothing to do
zero effect on the MCU. So I really felt it needed a little bit of effect. And I hated that.
This was very not forward facing. Like there weren't even your typical teasing or previewing things in the end credits. The end credits were all backwards facing. They were all about putting a bow, putting closure, paying homage, as was the movie, to the Fox universe. And as much as I love this movie, and the reason I loved it is because I didn't give a shit about the plot. Like I go to Deadpool for the action and the jokes.
And that's what I'm saying. And that is great, which is why I did like the movie. Yeah. I gave this on Letterboxd, I gave it 3 stars.
Yeah.
I did not give it like more than that because I did feel, because that's the thing is when I watched it with my other friends and my husband, they did not get a lot of the jokes.
You have to really
so they were so they were kind of like, just kind of like nothing really happened and it didn't really matter. And I was like, okay, I get that. But there were parts where I'm like clapping and like,
same.
I mean, when we see Wolverine crucified on the X, one of my favorite Uncanny X-Men covers.
I screamed because that's one of my favorite issues of a comic book of all time.
Exactly. It's so good. And so and it looked gorgeous. Like the visuals of that looked gorgeous.
Oh, please. When we saw, so there is so he's Deadpool. Let's back up. For those of you who haven't seen it, the movie Deadpool and Wolverine is about the fact that Deadpool, his Fox universe, is dying because it lost its anchor being when Logan died in the movie Logan.
And so Logan, in that movie Logan, which also took place in the future.
Took place in the future, but
we're going to ignore that. And also, but in addition to that Fox world, there still are Avengers.
Are there?
Yeah, because he went to join the Avengers.
No, he got rejected. He went to MCU to do that.
Oh, so he'd left the dimension and went to a different dimension to do that?
And he did it. They never explain how. That was one
thing. Oh, okay. Because I felt like he's
Earth 616.
Oh, you're right. It did say Earth was 616. Yeah. Okay, you're right. So he got rejected from the Avengers, and then he ends up breaking up with his girlfriend, who also, she was pointless. Why was she even in it? I guess why is she in any of them?
She's his motivation, typical.
But in the end, because Wolverine's an anchor being for that universe, in order to save it, he needs to bring back a Wolverine. And the villain here in the beginning is Mr. Paradox, played by the guy who just won the Emmy for Succession, Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. That's right. Mr. Darcy from the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice. I don't remember what his name is.
Matthew McFadden. I thought McFadden, I believe. I thought he was great. I thought he was hilarious.
He is great. He's also very handsome, which helps everything.
I thought he was really funny. I loved his line delivery. It did feel like it wasn't as big for a feature film. Like he would have killed it if this was Loki, the TV show, which it felt like it was sometimes.
Yes.
He really would have killed it there. But I don't know. I think his performance was so good, it got a little lost in how big the rest of the movie was.
Yes. And so he ends up trying to find Wolverine, and very in a similar realm of Everything Everywhere All at Once, he ends up finding the worst Wolverine.
But he goes through several, and let's have fun with which Wolverines he meets when he's trying to find the one that, yes, was very Everything Everywhere All at Once, the worst one. He immediately meets AOA Wolverine, Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, which I screamed. I couldn't believe it. Then Patch.
He meets Patch. He also meets real height Wolverine.
Comics accurate Short King Wolverine, which so many jokes in this movie were about, like, hey, you know that thing that you were bitching about constantly, fans, that you wanted? Here it is. Isn't it stupid? He did that with the other Wolverine, which was the Henry Cavill Wolverine.
Henry Cavill Wolverine blew me away. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I still want the guy who played Elton John. What's his name from Kingsman?
Oh, Eggy. Yeah.
I want him to be Wolverine. I think he should be Wolverine.
I agree.
And then we got Crucified Uncanny X-Men on the Cross Wolverine.
X-Men.
Which have you heard? Have you heard what Christians are doing now? Christians are going to see Deadpool and then leaving 20 minutes in after that scene, and then making TikTok videos of them walking out.
Oh, is that the scene?
Yeah.
It's because of the crucifix?
Yes. Also, they're also all complaining, because I don't know if you realized in the Olympics, there's kind of the drag queens are kind of posing in the last summer at the Olympics. That Olympics, I want to talk about that too. We'll maybe talk about that afterwards. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen the opening ceremony yet.
Oh, okay. I didn't like it. Okay. And I was in the minority when I was watching it with people. But do you know how tall is Wolverine? Do you know? I just looked it up in the comics.
Isn't he like 5'6"?
He's 5'3".
Oh God, come on. That's too short.
Well, that's what he is.
It's too short.
I liked it. I liked it when he's shorter than Storm. I like that. It's hot.
It's hot. But 5'3" is too short. You could be 5'8" and be shorter than Storm.
But he ends up getting Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman eats this part up. The chemistry between him, and I will say, people can shit on Ryan Reynolds, and I can get it if like his type of humor can be grating to you.
I mean, there are a few moments where gay is the punchline with Deadpool movies.
I will tell you this, but it's never a punching down punchline.
It's never a punching down. It's
always like I'm into it and I'll do it. It's never like ew. It's like I wanna.
Yeah.
And that is why people were saying, oh, it's like this gay jokes. And I'm like, but it's gay jokes as in like it's hot. And I'm like, you know, where he's like getting turned on.
The joke is he's horny right now.
Yeah. And even Wolverine is never like, ugh. Like no one's sitting there going
even Steve Rogers' wink was like just the subtle push off when he was getting dry humped by Deadpool.
Yeah. So he gets this Wolverine, and then they just have tons and tons of different like battles, and those are really fun. I will say when at the very end, because I had to sit through the credits to watch the very end scene.
Of course,
there was about 25 effects houses. And sometimes I felt CGI scenes varied from scene to scene.
There was one,
and after seeing that it was different effects houses, I'm like, oh, that's why.
There's why.
Because like, oh, this is really good. And the other one, there's someone where there's all the Deadpools were fighting. I was like, this is not that good.
Yeah. There was, well, we'll talk about it later, but there was a CGI shot that I was like, this is wild. I'll talk about it now. When they fight all the Deadpools and they jump out of the back of the bus in that like big action splash pose, after they land, Hugh Jackman is still CGI for like a good 5 seconds of them standing there and him looking around. It's so oddly CGI'd Hugh Jackman. It's so weird.
Yeah, and I will say in the bus, a lot of those Deadpools were 100% CGI, and it looked like AI. It looked like those AI creations, and it did not look good.
Yeah.
But then there's moments where it did look good, and so.
Well, the moments that I thought shined the most outside of visual effects was when they were in the void and we met a cavalcade of characters and actors that we did not expect to be in this movie. We did not know were in this movie.
And I was fully 100% unspoiled. And that's what we're going to tell you right now. Time to be spoiled. So stop watching the show now.
And honestly,
if you don't want to know.
To your point, the movie, it's not that substantial. It's not that great. The joy comes from what we're about to talk about. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you were warned. Here we go. The first biggest, oh my God. And it's a 1-2 punch. So it's the 1-2, let's start with the one punch is who shows up at fucking Chris Evans shows up in the void. And then he says, oh, we're going to fight. Say your phrase. Say your phrase.
He's framed very much like Captain America. He's wearing blue, white, and red. You have the patriotic music. He does the superhero landing. Deadpool's like, oh my God, it's Cap. It's over.
And then when he wants him to say Avengers Assemble, he instead says Flame On. And he's fucking Johnny Storm.
It's fucking Johnny Storm.
The original Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four movies. That was so fucking smart.
It was
so fucking brilliant. And the fact that who comes in the cavalcade to attack them is people from the original X-Men movie. We have the original Pyro, the original Pyro,
Aaron
the original
Stanford.
Toad, the original Sabretooth. Oh, it's not the original Toad?
Yeah, it's not original Toad. It was not original Juggernaut.
Wasn't he Darth Maul?
Yeah, it wasn't him. It wasn't Ray Park. It was original Tyler Mane, Sabretooth. And
it's original Pyro. That guy I recognized, which I just loved, especially to have him then suck all of the
so funny
fire out of Johnny Storm, and they get kidnapped, get brought back into a huge Ant-Man, and then it's like a skull, and he's like, "Wow, this is like finally Paul Rudd's old." Like there's just so many,
good jokes.
So many good jokes.
You have to really know the industry and like all the backstory of all the movies. Like you have to know the hot goss of these actors and these movies being made to really laugh.
Yes, and we get our real main villain. Cassandra Nova.
It's Miss Nova.
Played by Emma Corrin, who I believe won did she win the Emmy for The Crown playing Princess Diana?
I believe so.
I think she might have. Or was it the one, because so many different people played Diana, I can't remember which ones.
I don't know.
But I will tell you this.
You're thinking of Debicki? You're thinking of Elizabeth Debicki?
I can't remember which one, but anyway.
She's 6'3".
Who is 6'3"?
Elizabeth Debicki.
Elizabeth Debicki is 6'3".
Look it up, bitch.
Oh, well, Emma Corrin isn't, and that's who I want to talk about.
Okay.
Because she, in this role, square root of 64. She ate. She ate. She fucking ate.
She did. She was so fun.
She ate it up, and I appreciated it because she gave us... She was doing full Disney villain. And I was like, that's exactly what
is very Nova. Like, so does Nova, right? Like, Nova.
And they basically, the fact that they used, which I think she only did it 1 or 2 times with the hands inside the head. They made that how she reads minds, is sticking her hands in the heads. And that was CGI that I did. Like, I was here for that. I loved it.
Emma Corrin, I did want to check, uses they pronouns, just so you know, just so we acknowledge that.
They.
She with a Y in the end? Yeah.
Wait, what is that? Shay? Okay.
She made it up.
Or they made it up. Okay, we'll just
It's like a she-they hybrid.
Okay, they. Well, they are amazing.
They are amazing. And
they were great.
They square root of 64.
Yeah, and so they're the villain, and they're the only one, and Cassandra Nova is the only one that can get them out of the void.
The second time I saw it, do you know, I realized, remember there was a guy with a beard in like a red and white striped tank top?
The one who got stabbed by...
Yeah. I realized
Gambit.
That is the Russian from the Punisher, from the Thomas Jane Punisher. Originally played by WWE wrestler, what's his face? Kevin something.
Sorbo?
No, not that piece of shit.
No, he's a horrible piece
Kevin
of shit.
Nash. Kevin Nash, right?
Which Punisher was that?
That was the
I thought it was the one that used to be married to
the guy that was in Hung.
Patricia Arquette.
Thomas Jane,
but there was one before him?
No, Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, yeah, that's who I was thinking of. Oh, okay.
Dolph Lundgren. No, but this was the Thomas Jane Punisher. He was like the main henchman.
Okay. Was that the same actor?
No.
Or just the same character?
Same character. I recognized the tank top.
They should have brought Thomas Jane back. That would have been a really fun cameo.
And they had like a good solid Punisher joke in there.
Yeah, he was apparently there. And that's where we end up finding out there's like a little cavalcade of rebels. And we see it is... At first, we get an amazing Honda Odyssey like car fight.
Sex scene
Car fight, basically.
It was very much a sex scene. And I love that during that sex scene, they played a song from Grease, which is a musical about...
You're the one that I want, yeah.
Kids making out in cars.
Yeah.
But it was very... That violent fight in the car was, I'm like, this is their sex scene.
But then they meet Elektra, Jennifer Garner. One of my favorent jokes where it's like,
second best joke.
And Daredevil's dead. And she's like, it's okay.
Fine.
Like just basically saying, I don't give a
Daredevil.
shit that Ben Affleck is dead. That was amazing.
So good.
We have Blade. This was my other big
I freaked out.
Clapping moment.
Freaked out. I started crying. I was like, come on.
We have Wesley Snipes' Blade. I'll be the only Blade.
Joke. There's only one Blade, and there's only ever gonna be one Blade.
I know, and then you see Deadpool be like,
"Ooh."
And then we have the movie that never came about. We have fucking Gambit,
Channing
Tatum as Gambit, doing a thick Louisiana accent where you cannot understand anything he's saying.
And it brought up two questions for me. One was, if that movie did move forward, how would he have played it? What would Channing Tatum was going to be Channing Tatum's take on Gambit? Second,
we'll never know.
Who the fuck thought of that to begin with? Like, it made you realize what a stupid fucking idea that was in the first
Girl,
thing.
I would have seen that. I would have been so happy to see that movie.
Oh, well, I was so happy to see him in this movie. He killed every fucking syllable out of his mouth. I was dying.
And we also have, which we were spoiled, is Laura X-23.
X-23, Laura Kinney. Daphne Keane is still the best possible Laura Kinney. She's such a good grown-up Laura Kinney. My God.
Also, she is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
So let's if you're going to bring that back, give her the part. Yeah. Don't need any recasting.
Nope.
And so finally, they're able to get out of the void by Cassandra Nova ends up getting them out, and she has a Doctor Strange.
She has a sling ring. Yeah.
Sling ring. And then it turns out that what's his nuts? Paradox is just has a machine that's going to blow up, eat the planet, eat the universe.
Eat time. Yeah.
And so they need to stop it, but then lo and behold comes all of the Deadpool variants.
Yeah, because Nova is going to take over the machine. So to stop Wolverine and Deadpool from stopping her, she sends 100 Deadpools.
Which we have a nepotism casting choice that I kind of still loved. Lady Deadpool.
Blake Lively.
Of course, Blake Lively's Lady Deadpool, because she is Lady Deadpool.
Who played Kid Deadpool? Somebody told me it was like their real kid, but I also heard it was the kid that played young Ryan Reynolds in that time travel movie on Netflix about Jason or whatever.
It is saying here that their 4-year-old daughter was Kid Deadpool.
Oh, fun. Wow. She swore up and down.
And then they murdered her.
Yeah. She really dropped a number of F-bombs.
Yeah. And so basically this then led to a big Deadpool fight, and then it was just like, oh, we have to and then, but I will say, having it done to like a prayer, amazing. And then there was like a final sacrifice to stop the machine, and they both agreed to sacrifice themselves.
But they didn't die. Shocker.
But they didn't die.
Right.
Which is a funny thing where Paradox feels like he got away with it. And then they're like, we're alive. And he's like, fuck.
So funny. Yeah, they don't die. You know, Logan does not go back to whatever his original world was. He stays in the Fox universe, which is now saved through the actions of Deadpool and Wolverine. And then...
Although we're never going to see it ever again.
We're never going to see it ever again. We will see Deadpool. They make that clear because they showed on the TVA monitors. Deadpool
you just said showed.
Showed. Deadpool, tuna can. Deadpool sees him dying in the arms of a crying Thor.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine is going to be a scene from Secret Wars.
That would be amazing.
That would be
amazing, bringing in Deadpool to Secret Wars.
And I have to think they're going to bring Hugh Jackman into Secret Wars as well.
Yeah. Because Secret Wars, when they're going to do Battle Arena and they're all going to show up, that's when we're going to just start seeing
Toby. Who wasn't in this movie was Halle Berry, Patrick Stewart, Famke Janssen. Like the X-Men, who I truly did expect to be in this movie, were not. So that means we will see them in Secret Wars.
But I'm also at the ready of, I want this to be the end. I want this Avengers Secret Wars to
keep
be
going.
The end, and then let's start over. Let's start fresh. If you want to bring back a character, let's have a new actor. Because at this point, the X-Men movies and all these, by the time they're ready to release an X-Men movie, it'll be 2030. So it's probably not going to be till like 2030 that we're going to get an X-Men movie. At that point, even characters that came out in WandaVision will be 10 years old. Like, let's start it all over. Please. Somebody take out Kevin Feige. And how do you feel about the Russo brothers doing the new Avengers movie?
I don't love that we're going back to safe old shit. I don't love it. I want a fresh take. I want new talent. I want to keep expanding what this thing is.
And that's why I feel it's time to start it over. And I feel James Gunn was like, I'm just starting over. I'm going to keep this stuff because it's working. But this Batman and Joker, nope, they're two different universes. They don't have to combine. They don't have to collide. Right. Oh, did you see the Joker sequel trailer? Oh, you don't like it?
No, I hated the first movie so much.
But this, I feel, is a fuck you to the incels.
Ooh, say more.
Because literally they're like, this is the incels' wet dream movie. Every incel was like, Joker, 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 and I was like, ugh, and I hated it. So what did this actor being Todd Phillips is the director? Yeah. I think he decided like, wow, I'm being grouped in with incels. What do? I know. I'm going to make the sequel a musical starring Lady Gaga. It's just a fuck you. So I think I might support this.
Okay.
I might support
I like that take.
It also could be completely terrible.
Listen, like I said, you and I are going to become DC fans and not Marvel fans anymore. This is how it happens.
Yes. So I'm excited for that. I also want to talk about, do you have anything else you want to say about this?
No, I don't.
I want to talk about Madeline Ashton. No. Wait, what else did I say? I said I wanted to talk about something else. There's something... What else is in the news? Well, there is Drag Race. Do you want to react to the winner?
Yeah, so I fell off this season, but I have not watched the finale. I do plan on watching the finale, but I do know who won because the same thing happened with the last season when Nymphia won. About a month prior, an announcement for a big party in Brooklyn starring a drag queen that's on Drag Race. The party is being promoted. It's on the night of the finale. So like the night of the finale, there was a huge party in Brooklyn. in Nymphia Wynn's honor, and you're like, well, I guess Nymphia Wynn's won. And then same thing, the weekend of the finale, it's like, come out and celebrate Miss Angeria Paris Van Michaels. And I'm like, well, I guess Angeria won.
They do decide like a week before. There's 3 different endings. Like they have all the endings edited together, and they literally decide the week before. And
what do you mean?
They film everyone winning. You know,
but Angeria knew she was the winner.
No, she didn't know. No, if you can look up when the show airs, they're all 3 watching it and waiting to see who wins. You don't know that they film every single person winning, and they don't find out until it airs?
Idea.
Yeah, girl. When you see them on the show winning, and they're like this, they're like, cut. Now you win. To prevent any leaks, and they edit every single ending, and then at literally a week before, when they do the final delivery, Randy, Fenton, and Rue are like, that one.
That ruins my party theory.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they don't know. They don't.
Interesting.
But
I love Angeria. I'm happy for her.
I am too. I think she's great, and I think at this level of the game, I honestly felt Plastique should have been in the finals, because it ended up being Vanjie, Roxy, and Plastique. And I think in the end, it did seem like they were setting it up for Roxy to win. So I was very surprised it went to Angeria. In the end, I think all of those queens are amazing. So
amazing.
There's no reason why if they could have given it to anyone, and you've been like, you're great, you deserve it.
That was the thing, though. I thought we would have been more invested in this season if we learned the story of the charity, or if we heard more about the Queen's connection to the charity, or somebody from each charity kind of educated us on their mission.
What they should have done is to give the stakes higher, that they would have put the charity out of business if they didn't win. And then there would have been real, and then it would be their fault.
Yeah.
So then that brings the stakes up.
Did the Queen get any money for herself? Like, it should have been like, we're going to give
$100,000. They're paid like, they were paid money to get the outfits.
Yeah.
And they were paid money to participate.
But
so they were paid a shit ton of money.
Would the audience have cared more if
they didn't have to buy their outfits? So
okay. If the Queen made 100,000 and the charity got 100,000, would the audience have cared more? Would the stakes have been higher? Shrug.
Yeah.
Shrug.
Who knows? But
listen, you know what else I want to talk about?
Yeah, what?
The boyfriend.
Oh, you started watching it? Are you caught up?
I think I'm like 2 episodes behind.
Oh, that's where. Oh.
Can I tell you who I'm sick of?
Shun.
Yes.
Girl, you need to watch these last 2 episodes, because he makes a full redemption arc.
Okay. Also, Kai. I just found out Kai is like 22. I'm like, girl, no, you were doing it right. You were slutty. You were playing. Do that. Don't fall into this. I need a family. Oh.
But I'll tell you this. Watch these other 2 episodes, because they have this reconnection that's kind of... The fact that they caught it all on camera is kind of like... I was literally like there's some smoochy stuff.
Let me well, I'm excited for that, but let me tell you the one thing I'm the most confounded by. What's wrong with Taehan? What's going on, everybody? Why are we not jumping? I would be on him.
I think there's
to the point where he calls the police. What?
There's a sad he's Korean. I think it's racism.
Oh shit.
I think it's racism.
I thought it was because it was ageism. I thought it was because he was 34.
No.
But then I think, isn't Usak like 36?
Yeah. And Genzi, he's 34 too.
But
I'll tell you this.
Ryoka and Genzi get together, please.
There's a development on that too. You need to watch these last 2 episodes, bitch.
But you know,
I don't know what's gonna. But poor Kazuto, is that
Kazuto? That's
he is gorgeous. It also just watching the difference between how Western dating shows work and Eastern dating shows work, you realize, oh, in Japan,
they can go
being
home.
an introvert is it.
Oh,
He's so quiet.
Oh,
He's introverted. Where in a Western dating show, you're like, you never talk. Why don't you fucking get lost, bitch?
Right.
What's your problem? Oh,
Right.
what, you don't want to have fun? Like, being loud, like even Shun didn't like Die because he was like, oh, like, ah, yay, I'm having fun. And he's like...
And I also think Taehan, in the beginning where he took over like the naming of the business,
I think that turned people off.
I think it turned a lot of people off. Yeah.
They need to also, he's not there a lot. He keeps on like going away.
Well, so many of them are like, I'm taking a week off. I'm like,
I'm
you're
like,
there for a month.
No,
what's happening?
No. You need to be trapped there.
Zudo is like, I got to go to work. I'm like, bitch, you're on a reality show.
And then it's like, I got to go to work. They keep showing the scene from, what's it, Hidden Figures with Taraji P. Henson being like, I work day and night for a cup of coffee. And it's just like Kazuto after he works all day and then is forced to go work the coffee shop because everybody wants to fuck him.
So funny.
I'm telling you, everybody, watch The Boyfriend on Netflix. It's riveting. It's riveting. Very slow, but riveting.
You get, and I'm so excited because we're watching the English dub, but I'm so excited to, after the show is over, to watch a meaningful amount, maybe an episode, in their original Japanese voices because
I have to watch it. I have to watch it in the subs. I can't do the dubs.
I know. I tried the subs and I was like, I think I want to do the dubs, but now I'm like, but I want to hear what their voices really sound like.
That's what I need. Yeah. And the Korean one, His Man, the 3rd season of that is coming to an end, which is on IQ. And that one also just has me in a death grip. And everybody is crying and emotional. That one, I wish they were a little more dirty. They're just so, like, everyone's so, like, come on, just fucking make out. Make out! But yeah, love. Although watching it with your partner, you're just like, aren't you glad we don't have to date again?
Yes.
The idea of having to date to like actually...
I don't think I would.
To actually, like, is he going to call?
I don't think I would.
Does he like me? I'm so happy I don't have to do that ever again.
Cat lady.
Oh
if,
my
God forbid
God.
anything happens to my husband, cat lady, moving forward, I'm not dating.
You're just gonna be
eat
in that
cats all
sling.
day.
In that sling in the bathhouse.
That's it.
Take a turn and then I'm gonna go home.
They're gonna be like, what's your name? Hole.
Hi, Hole.
Hi, Hole. I'm Peter.
Is there any other fun things?
No.
Anything?
Nothing else is fun.
There was something else I wanted to tell you and I can't remember. But I guess it wasn't that important if I don't remember.
The political climate sure did turn around.
Well, it's right now, Kamala. Everything, she wiped away Trump's lead, and they're basically in a virtual tie. And I'm really hoping that we can actually pull this off. The party pooper in me is always seeing the worst scenario. I'll tell you, 4 years ago, even though Biden was winning every single poll, I was like, no.
Oh, same.
Trump's going to win.
Yeah.
And so I was pleasantly
not
surprised. So I'm also just, I'm like, but this is the first time I felt hope. So
yeah, things are looking good. Let's keep it up. Keep it up. Do what you can. Do what you can. Do what you can. My
it's
little
weird that go ahead.
My little mission is I'm gonna do what I can about Pennsylvania. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just like
you're gonna be knocking on doors, sucking dick,
whatever it takes. Pennsylvania.
You'll be like, I'll suck you off if you vote for Kamala.
Yeah, you can affect. You should work on Nevada. You should,
Okay, I'll go to Vegas.
Phone calls in Nevada. Yeah,
I'll go to Vegas.
Haktua, whatever that is.
You know what Haktu is.
I know what it is. It's straight nonsense. Hawk 2 is like one of those things that's like, okay, it was funny. Like, can we move on? Like, there doesn't need to be a fucking TV show about it now.
Yeah, the fact that she's now has an agent is going to be like
she made a
wasn't
fucking
that great. Yeah.
dirty joke.
I mean, Missy Elliott did Hawk 2 25 years ago.
Thank you.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Let's wrap this shit up. Play the Missy. Oh, we don't have any Missy?
I don't.
Well, listen. One time Missy Misdemeanor Elliott picked up a Superman comic book, and ever since then, she's been
munching box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you read comics, well, then that makes you
queer. Bye.
Shazam.